What's up, everybody? Bryson Michael RC here, and I'm going to start doing these little talk things once a week. Now, I'm unsure what day we're going to be doing these little talk things. I was thinking Friday or Saturday. This one's going to come out on Monday, so it's going to give me kind of a little bit of an idea. And you can leave a comment when you guys would think it would be a little bit better that I can just kind of talk to you about a few things. We can kind of get into discussions about the FAA laws, about new drone news, you know, different types of drones that are coming out and things like that, because in the exciting world of drones, there's always so much more technology coming out. And now that we're getting into the racing drones, there's a whole lot more when it comes to FPV racing and all sorts of little things. Like, they've had out for a while now a cube stack that is really cool because it has the PDB board and the flight control board and everything that you need in one little cube, and the ESCs in one little cube, and you kind of just connect everything to it instead of buying everything separately, and it's really cool. And now they have this like double stack that's the PDB board, the ESCs, and the flight control board all in one, and they're just making it smaller and smaller and smaller and lighter, and so your drones can go faster, and that it's easier to build them and things like that. All sorts of new technology coming out, and I'm going to be going through and purchasing a lot of this stuff now that I'm getting into building this racing drone. Like, I've just had so much thought of what I can do. Like, now that I'm building this and really kind of getting the knowledge that I need to build a drone, there's so many possibilities, and there's so many things that you can purchase online to make it even better. Like, you could go online and build. You can buy the GPS stuff to build a GPS drone. You can buy a 3D gimbal to put on your own drone, design your own drone the way that you want to, build a mold, make the shell the way that you want to, and things like that. And you can put the exact technology that you want in a drone in that drone and have the buttons do exactly what you want to it. There's so many things with this hobby, and now that I'm getting into the building aspect of it, it's going to be a lot more fun, and I'm getting excited. Like, I'm getting super excited. For the longest time, for like the past few years, I've just been into these drones and hobby drones and toy drones and things, but I've been fixing them, but I haven't been into like rebuilding or adding things to it, except for mods, a few little mods here and there. But I haven't really been into like really going from the ground up. And now that I am, it opens Pandora's box of excitement pretty much for me of everything that I could do. And I really want to get down to the nitty gritty. And after I build this 180 racing drone here, once I get this thing done, I want to build a 210. I'm going to make a video of just the entire build by itself. I'm going to get the whole kit and everything. You know, this one's being broken down into several videos. As parts come in, we're building onto it. But the 210, I think it's going to be a Dubai 210. It's going to have the attachable arms and stuff. I'm going to wait till everything comes in, and then I'm going to put it all together in one. After I get done doing that, I want to get into like a 6-arm drone and kind of build my own 6-arm drone. And also, I found some motors for the Phantom 3 that are actually better than the motors that are on the Phantom 3, and I'm going to upgrade this Phantom 3 with the better motors. They're like $20 a motor, so it's going to take a little while before I get them in because I'm not rich. So they're white too, so they match the whole thing. They look really cool. I think it's about time that once I get that build done and get the next build done, I think it's about time to really start putting my own stuff into this and really kind of seeing what I can do with the Phantom 3 itself and kind of show you every mod that you could possibly do with that. I've been watching non-stop build videos, non-stop. You know, all these little tiny, they're not racing drones, but they're just a little bit bigger than a 210 racing drone, and they're literally for filming fast stuff. They've got a 3D gimbal on it, and they go fast just like an FPV racing drone, but they're a little bit bigger, they're a little bit bulkier, and they're literally just meant to put up in the air, and when you're going fast, to go by without getting one of these that only go right around like 20 miles per hour, 17 miles per hour, something like that. So it allows you to go without having to upgrade to the Inspire 2 that goes 70 miles an hour. You can just get one of these things, and it's steady, and when you learn how to pilot it and stuff. And I'll tell you what, building drones actually gets you to being a better pilot because you actually start putting into the drone what you need. Being a better pilot isn't just how you put the drone in the air and how you fly around. Being a better pilot also entails when you land it, if something goes wrong, can you adjust to that? Can you be your own fail-safe and get that drone back up in the air eventually? And so I encourage everybody out there that has a drone that's into the toy and hobby drones and things like that, learn how to put your motors on. Learn how your battery works. Learn how your motherboard works and things like that. And then when you get into it, a lot of people with the toy drones that cost about $20 to $50 and stuff, whenever they break them, they just throw it away and they order a new drone. But you can actually take every drone and modify it you can literally go to hobbytron.com if you have a striker and put anything into it. All you have to know is soldering and then taking the screws out, and that's pretty much it. So you can do so much, you know. On DJI sells all their stuff individually, and so if you break the gimbal on the bottom or the camera or the motors or anything like that, you can actually go in and you can buy the bottom shell and the top shell and the motors and everything, and just you could actually build a DJI Phantom 3 standard if you wanted to. I don't think it's cheaper because all the parts are pretty expensive, and I think there's only a few places that you can actually go and get the parts, and they're fairly pricey. So I think it's a lot better if you just go out and buy the Phantom 3 standard. I don't think you can build it from the ground up and make it worth it, you know. One more thing that I would like to mention on this video is I had the unboxing of the JGRC H8W, and I was going to do a review on it, and I'm still planning on doing a review on it, but I dug a battery out that I found it actually, and it looked a little rough, and on my best instinct I was thinking, you know, I shouldn't use this battery, I should just go ahead and throw it away and wait for the battery that I have to charge. But I was having so much fun with it because this is a really fun drone. I was out there doing flips with it and everything like that, and I was like, well, you know, I'm going to just see how this battery charges, and if the battery charges, then I'm going to go ahead and put it into the drone. And the battery charged. It took the same amount of time to charge and things like that, and so I went against my own instinct, and I said, you know what, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to use it. And you can see here, I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera or not, those two wires are where the connector was. So there was a connector sitting on top of that. As soon as I plugged in the LiPo battery, smoke bellowed out, and it melted that JGRC connection on the top there and melted it all the way down. I don't know if the motherboard's messed up or not. I haven't taken it apart. I was so excited, and as soon as those melted, I kind of just got bummed out, and I set it aside, and I haven't messed with it since. But this is a really good drone. I do have a video that I will upload. It's not a review, but it was a test for the review, because I like to take my cameras out, my head camera, get the camera running on this, make sure it works right. I put the drone up in the DJI Phantom 3 standard up in the air to get some aerial shots of it and stuff, just to kind of do a test run and make sure that the Phantom 3 will perform good and just stay in place and get some good shots on it and stuff. Then I went back through and edited it to see, you know, kind of how it would look like on the floor, and then I was going to go back and do the full review where I was going to show you guys the flips and tricks and show it all moving around and all that different stuff and run a few lipos through it. But since I burned it out, I wasn't able to do that review, but I still have that edited video of this thing flying and me talking about it just a little bit. It's not a full review, and it's not, you know, how I wanted to do it. So I probably will be uploading it until I can get this thing fixed, and then I'll end up doing that for you. That way you can see it in the air. Maybe we'll see, since maybe this will give me an opportunity to upgrade it. Maybe I'll see if a different LiPo battery works. Maybe we can get some longer lasting time out of this. I don't know the exact numbers on it or not, and I don't know what's safe to put in this, but I'll definitely do my research. Anyways, last part of this video, we're going to be done here in just a second. I just want to run over a few things if you guys are following along on the QAV 180 build here. This thing, I ordered some new ESCs for it. These are 16 amp ESCs. And all the ESCs that I see people building these with are either 12 amp or 20 amp, and so I haven't seen somebody yet put a 16 amp one on it. And that's one thing that I haven't done research on it, is the difference in the 12, 16, and 20 amp ESCs. And these have this little tiny knob thing on the end of the ESC that I have no idea what it is. I've never seen it on any other ESCs, on any other quadcopter builds online. I don't know, I may put the motors on and kind of see if it works, see what it does. But I've got the 20 amp ESCs coming in, and I'll put the link in the description for those. I put the link in the other videos' descriptions for those in case you want to go back and get the 20 amp ESCs instead of the 16 amp ESCs. So, like I said before, this is the first build, so we're learning. We're gonna try things out, and if that doesn't work, we want to put something else on it. And so I'm gonna buy the battery strap next. We've got the flight controller coming in, and the 20 amp ESCs, and the motors should be in all within next week or the week after that. And then next week I'm ordering the transmitter receiver, the transmitter, and the FPV receiver. I've got the I've already ordered the FPV camera, so all I need after this next week, all I'm going to need is the transmitter and the transmitter receiver and the FPV receiver. So, and then the goggles. The goggles are going to come very last. So that's all I need for that. And if you guys haven't had a chance to look through and kind of see everything that you need in this build, if you're following along and stuff, I would suggest just a real quick run through of what I've got, and I'll put the links in the description for some of these that I've ordered online. Get you some wire cutters, something to cut the wires with. Get you some heat shrink for sure. This stuff is marvelous, and this is real cheap online, so I'll leave a link in the description for that. It comes with a whole bunch of heat shrink, different sizes and stuff, and this is cheaper than what you can buy at a store. But if you just want to run to a store and buy heat shrink, you can get it from one of the auto stores for it's inexpensive, but it's more expensive than this. And this only took like 5 days to come in the mail, so I'll leave a link in the description for that. I'm buying everything from eBay, and so you guys got to understand that if I leave a link in the description and then they sell out of that product, then they're not going to have that product anymore. But you can take the name of it and just put in heat shrink or something like that into the search bar, and you'll find it. Just go to the site and push in America only if you're in America. If you go to your country, and your country only, there's somebody that's selling it for that price. There's always somebody selling it for that price. It's going to be faster to come to you. So it's real easy to just kind of search through there. You want some zip ties. I've got a whole package of zip ties. These came with my GoPro here. And you're going to want one of these. This is just a real cheap 1080p. Like, this thing was like $30 on Banggood or GearBest, one of the two. And it came with these straps. And you're gonna want to put one of these tiny cameras on the top of your FPV drone. You don't have to. Just learning how to fly with your FPV and stuff, you don't need one of these right away. But you're gonna want to catch some of the footage of you flying once you actually get pretty good. So you can just put one of these, right on the top, and it'll hold it. When they fly tilted like this. So the FPV has to be pointed up. Then you can buy these little cradles that kind of point that way. It keeps it, straight out. So get you some zip ties. You'll be using zip ties like crazy. Any of the build videos that I've watched, they use zip ties, especially for the receivers, the antennas for the receivers. They're real weak and they're flimsy, and so you put the zip ties up on the back and you heat shrink around the zip ties. This is all the stuff that we've got in so far. All of my packaging. It all comes in these little hobby bags. They're see-through plastic. Most of it is this real hard plastic here, and I've been reusing every bag. Like, these are my ESC bags. I've got my camera, my FPV camera sides are in this bag, along with some extra wire and some extra XT60 cables, or XT60 connections. And this one's got my tweezers, and the reason why I put my tweezers in their own little bag is because I actually didn't find these until halfway through my third video on the build, and these would have been extremely helpful. You need tweezers above anything. I was trying to use these big old bulky things to hold the wire, but it doesn't work. You need tweezers, and so I put it in its own little bag to put in with this stuff. Got my 10 propellers right here. Go on eBay. They got these for real cheap. You can get, you can buy the 2 props at a time for like $1.99, or you can go in and get like a massive amount of them. Just look up like 40-45 bullnose props, and then put in whatever color, like red or green or something like that. And there's going to pop up some of these in almost every color that you want. So we got some blue ones coming in too. So this is the bag that my body came in on 180 body, and I put my soldering gun in it by itself, and then in the other ESC bag I put my solder and my stand and everything in that. And the reason I put all these in these little baggies is because it just makes it easier for me. If you guys don't have a bench, a lot of people online have their own little quadcopter bench, their little area where they build quadcopters, and they got their quadcopters on the walls and stuff, and so they can just leave stuff all over their bench. But I don't have a bench. This is my work desk, and so I've got my screens and stuff, so as soon as I get done with this video, I take all this stuff down, except for these two up here, but I put this back in its little thing, and then you kind of just stand to the side. But this is my little work area, so I can't just leave everything out in all my work area. I'll get you some electric tape too, by the way. You're going to use the crap out of electric tape. And then you'll want to buy double-sided sticky tape. You'll want to, because you're going to use the crap out of that too. I just haven't bought it yet because I haven't had a reason to. I'm not done. So once I do cleanup and stuff, I'll start putting all the double-sided sticky tape on. So that's pretty much it. Just an idea of there's another little bag. It's got my screws and stuff in it that I'll put in there. So just some ideas for your build and stuff, and some ideas for the channel. What would you guys think? Just leave me a comment in the comments. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And what I would really like to do more than anything is for whenever I put these videos out, for you guys to come up with questions and put those questions on this video. And then next week, whenever I put the next video out, I'll answer those questions and then move on to a different topic. And then, you can put questions on that, and then on the next one, so forth and so on. We'll just keep going like that. And that way, the main reason for that is on all of my videos, I have like 200 and some videos, and lately YouTube has made it hard for me to answer and respond to your guys' comments, and it sucks because it pops up in the side, I click on it, scroll down, and then I click on your comment, I hit reply, and then it doesn't let me reply. So I have to hit the refresh button, go all the way back, then find that video, and then click on it, and then find your comment. And on some of the videos, there's like a lot of comments on it. So I have to go through all those comments, and if you're responding to somebody else's, it's kind of buried in, and you have to hit view all, and then got to cycle through and find it. And so it'll just make it easier that if you guys want questions answered, just leave them on these videos, and then I'll answer them on the video on the next one, and it would make it so much easier. Unless you have one of those questions that you want asked immediately. If you have one of those questions that you want answered immediately, then find my newest video and click on that and leave a comment on that about, you just say, I watched the other video of this, and this is what I need, and it'll be so much easier. Because if it's one of the first ones, then I can just click on the home thing and then click on that. You know what I mean? I don't have to dig through the videos and stuff. So, anyways, this is Bryson Michael RC. Hopefully we can get in a lot more of these conversations. But my goal is to get you guys as knowledgeable about this stuff as I am. I'd like everybody to get the most out of their hobby as they possibly can. You guys have a good one. We'll see you later.